afternoon. It's my pleasure as a representative of Czech Green Building Council to promote the lady who will speak right now about sustainability. So, Matt, it's yours.
Thanks for coming, guys. My name is Hani. I'm from London. I'm the Sustainability Ambassador from Humanscale. And over the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be going over our net positive approach as a company, how we change certain things in the terms of how we operate, living product challenge, declare label, and how we tackle working with another company to tackle the problem of wasted plastic in the ocean. So, when it comes to sustainability, everybody wants to be sustainable. Most manufacturing companies, they say they want to be sustainable and do the right thing, but as soon as they realize it's going to cost them money and time, they back out of it. And they promise to bring their negative impact on the environment down by 10%, 20% in the next 10 to 15 years. And they promise you to be less bad. We don't think with the current climate is not acceptable term. Being less bad is like going to your best friend and say, I've been a bad friend to you this year. Next year I'll be less bad. Or keep taking money out of your bank accounts and thinking about taking less money out. So we don't think that's the way forward. There's not a very positive perception about manufacturing companies. And the real question is, what if manufacturing companies can make a world a better place? If you wake up tomorrow morning and find out there's a manufacturing company opening next door to your house, you'd be devastated. You think about all the negative things they're going to bring. They're going to pollute the air, they're going to bring so much toxicity in the environment. But as a manufacturing company, I mean, for Humanscale as a manufacturing company, what if we can change things? What if we can clean more water, produce more energy, have a positive impact on the communities, and use less toxic materials in our products? So we started our journey back in 2013, when the high bar for sustainability was net zero. I don't know if every single one of you are familiar with the term net zero. Do you know what it means? No. So net zero means the total amount of energy that you use will equate to the amount of reusable energy that you actually generate. So you're basically sitting at zero. You take £50 out of your account, you put £50 back in. And then, it's okay. And we thought, cool, everybody wanted to be net zero. And we thought, as a company, it's a great way forward. We want to be net zero, and let's get on with it. And then after a while, we thought, if we're going to be net zero, we're not going to have any positive impact on the environment. What about other companies that are not doing anything about it? So we thought we want to be net positive, which means we're going to use enough, but we're going to put something back into the environment. So we thought, perfect, we're very excited, but how are we going to get there? How are we actually going to be a net positive company? It's just a term, but how are we going to deliver? So we decided to focus on 7 different areas in our operation: corporate social responsibility, healthy materials, natural resources, energy, water, carbon emission, and we thought, okay, we're going to take changes to these areas one step at a time. And we continued doing that for some time. And in 2006, we came across a company called, or a standard body called, a Living Future Institute. I don't know if any of you are familiar with them or not, but they're Boston-based. And they're the only standard that expects manufacturing companies to show that they're making a positive impact every single step of the way. So if you're making a product, if you're making a chair, a desk, anything, you have to put something back into the environment. And it's a very rigorous and high level of standard. So they have 7 different categories and 20 different other like little bullet points that goes on there. And for every single area, you need to show that you have a positive impact. As you can see, it's like different areas. And we're very proud to say, since 2016, Humanscale is the only manufacturer that has managed to achieve the Living Product Challenge for 2 of our products. One of them is our chair that you can see over there, is our smart chair. And the other one is our sit-stand table. Some of the things we had to do in order to get this certification is to create our own energy. So we installed solar panels on top of our Piscataway production facility, which generates 225% of energy required. So it's more than what we actually need. In terms of water, we installed rainwater captures. So we actually capture the rain and then use it for the water that we need. So that's one thing. Now then we come from being net positive to the whole topic of healthy material. It's a very important topic between designers and users and us generally. They've done a recent study and they've noticed that they found that we spend 90% of our times indoor. locked in meeting rooms, commuting in homes, houses. And believe it or not, we're essentially breathing the buildings that we're in. They're breathing the furniture that we're constantly in contact with. And this is something that manufacturing companies, they don't want to tell you what they use in their products. If they make a chair, if they manufacture a table, if you go and ask them and say, okay, we love this chair, but what's in this chair? What kind of chemicals have you used? They come around and say, first, we can't tell you because you're not a toxicologist. You don't understand, even if we give it to you. B, we have to respect the privacy of our suppliers. We can't tell you. I mean, why do we want to do that? For us, it's not acceptable. I mean, if we're going to pay for a product, we need to know what we're surrounding our bodies with. And for the very simple reason that if you buy something, you want to know what you're actually eating and you put in your body, we need to know what we're actually sitting on or surrounding our bodies with. So Living Future Institute has brought something called a Declare label. I have some samples here. Please feel free to take one away with you. And it's essentially a nutritional label for the products that you have. The label gives you 3 information: where the product was made, where does it end after its 15, 10 years life cycle, and every single ingredient that's been used. So if anything that's red, it is chemical of concern that you need to be aware of. If it's amber, then it's not a chemical of concern, but you need to be aware of that one, and it has some sort of health implications. And if it's not colored, then it's good. So this is a sample of this one for our smart chair that I encourage you to come and have a look at this. Having something like that gives us a better purchasing decisions. If you are a designer, if you specify in products, you can actually see what you're specifying. And we're very proud to say Humanscale has 60% of all the Declare label in the furniture industry belongs to us, and 54% of health product declarations, which is a longer list of every single ingredient that goes into products, also been published by us. Now, when we say we're driving the industry with our healthy material labels, what does that mean for us? We have an in-house toxicologist to make sure that every single chemicals that we use, it's not a red list chemical. We have been dealing with 150 different suppliers. Every time some of them, they said, oh, we don't want to disclose what we use in our products. We don't want to give you the exact chemical description of what we put in a chair, and we thought we want to be net positive. So if you want to be net positive, the people that we're dealing with has got to be net positive as well. So we want you to tell us. So there's been a lot of going back and forth with us, and we use 700 different chemicals, which every single one of them is not part of the red list chemical. And we're very proud to say 99.9% of the products, we actually know what's in there, from a chair, from the base, from even a top coating that goes on a screw. Now, some of these chemicals of concerns are widely used by manufacturers. The Humanscale does not use it. First one's PVC, plastic. Some companies have their own vinyl textile as well. It's very durable and cheap, but it affects us in 3 stages. First stage is when as they make it, they use asbestos and lead. So we actually, if you're buying PVC, you're supporting the industries that apply a lot of complications on their employees. As we use them, the product off-gases. I don't know if you ever bought anything in plastic bag. When you open it and you smell it, it smells new and you love it. I used to love it when I was a child, till I realized that's actually PVC off-gassing, and it's very toxic. And if you want to get rid of it, if you burn it, it releases toxins as well. So PVC is one of them. Humanscale, we don't have any PVC in our products. Chrome 6 is usually found on the base of the chairs. Any shiny object, especially on the chairs, they usually have Chrome 6. We use Chrome 3 when we have to. It's more expensive, but it's a healthier option for us. And I don't know if you remember watching a film called Erin Brockovich. Julia nice one, finally. Somebody has seen the film. It's a perfect example of when you put chemicals of concern that's going to affect us, how it's going to come back to us. And I love that film. I mean, it's a perfect example. Normal formaldehyde, it's a very cheap binding agent. You find it in most of top tables. The product off-gases, and it's very has health complications on us. And stain-resistant coating. So they've done a recent test, and they found that the life expectancy of a stain-resistant coating is 6 months. Now, in order to get that stain-resistant coating, which is literally on every single fabric that you can find, from sofas, curtains, cushions, anything that you can sit on, it has a chemical of concern. So somebody said, how long does it last? And they've done a double rub test on it, and they've noticed it's going to last for 6 months. And my question is, what does it go after 6 months? sit on that chair or on a sofa, it's constantly in contact with your skin. If it's on your clothes, you take it home, you wash it, it gets to the water, it finds its way to the ocean, and I'm sure at some point in our lives we all had fish. So the problem with these chemicals of concern are if you put them out, they find their way back into our bodies. Most of them are bioaccumulative, which means our bodies are not designed to get rid of them and, just digest them, and it stays with us. And it causes a lot of, new problems. You're allergic to certain things that nobody was allergic to 10 or 20 years ago. So these are the ones that we stopped using in our products, and, it's the way forward. Now, I said we wanted to be net positive and has a positive impact on the environment and on the planet. The problem of wasted plastic in the ocean is becoming known to everyone, thanks to BBC Blue Planet, the guys, somebody like David Attenborough, everybody talks about it, so we are aware of it. Collectively, we make about 300 million tons of plastic every year, which is a lot. That's just for 1 year. Out of that, 10% is recycled, and we chuck 7 million tons of plastic in the ocean every year. I can't begin to comprehend how much it is, but it seems to be a lot. And one of the 20% of that wasted plastic is discarded fishing nets. The fishermen go to fish and they don't want them and chuck it back in the ocean. 97% sits at the bottom of the ocean, and it constantly ghost fish, which means it catches the fish, goes down, and it just comes back up again. And it's really affecting the ecosystem and the livelihood of some people. So what we've done is we are working with a company called Barreyo. Barreyo is a story of 3 Californian guys coming from different backgrounds. They love to surf, and they used to go to California on the beach, and they came across a lot of wasted plastic. And they thought, we got to do something. So they formed their own company. Their work took them to the coast of Chile. And what they do now is they use these discarded fishing nets. The local fisherman brings them in. They clean them. They turn them into little pellets, which I actually brought a little sample for you guys. It's not from Chile, it's from London, but doesn't matter. So they used to use these in skateboards and sunglasses, and they carried on doing like that. And then we came across them. We thought, the idea is amazing, we can use them. So what we do now is be using 2 pounds of discarded fishing nets in the back of our chair. And this is a perfect example how, it's just little baby steps as we're trying to help the planet. But this is another example of how a manufacturing company could actually start helping the planet, helping the local communities. Because Barreyo works with local fishermen. We create jobs for the local fishermen. And, this is something that we have in mind to go ahead with our other products. And I want to finish my presentation by this really good quote from our CEO that it says, in the past, standards have been to minimize the amount of harm you do, and that's not enough. You have to contribute something back. This is the only way we can preserve the planet for our future generation. So I think if there's only one thing that I want you to take away from this presentation is if you're in a buying position, purchasing position, or specification position, ask for a declare label. It's a very important thing to know what you're actually putting out. And if you're making a decision for an officer's because 200, 300, you want to know, that you're responsible in terms of what you're actually surrounding people with. So feel free to try the chair and take one of these away. Thank you.
Questions? No one? I have question myself because I absolutely love in your presentation and is the Declare some kind of certification which is compatible with WELL certification?
It's compatible with LEED.
With LEED.
So the course
Okay.
of Living Future Institute, where they worked on LEED and BREEAM. So if you aim into
And the
LEED,
WELL?
I think it contributes towards WELL as well, but I think it's mainly towards LEED and BREEAM.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
No one else?
What is your plans for the future? Well, how to go with the environment protection futures?
Well, I think in terms of what the plans for the future, in terms of, for example, our products, when we design products, we have, thank you. When we design products, we have longevity in mind, so we just don't constantly create brand new things using natural resources. So once something is designed, for example, our chairs last about 15 years. So we have longevity in mind. I think it's last year, that was when our corporate social responsibility report was published. I read how they've used sustainability as a source of innovation and a source of design, like how we're going to look at what's out there, how much resources do we need to take out to actually design new products, and what's the best way to reduce the negative impact that we have. In terms of our smart chair, well, we started with the frame of the chair, and the future plan is to move to the other parts of the chair, to move to the mesh of the chair, and we have another chair called World Chair, which is mainly made out of plastic, and then we can use that to get to like 90% and above of the discarded fishing nets. So it's little baby steps as we do, but you know, sustainability is definitely the way forward for us. Thank you.